July 15, 2026, Atlanta, Georgia. The 85th minute of the World Cup semifinal. England leading Argentina 1-0. Anthony Gordon had scored earlier in the second half. The Three Lions were 5 minutes away from their first World Cup final since 1966. 60 years of pain, 60 years of nearly, 60 years of waiting, about to end. And then it happened. Enzo Fernández curled a shot from 20 yards. 1-1. 2 minutes later, Lautaro Martínez headed home from Messi's cross. 2-1. The final whistle. And in living rooms, pubs, and stadiums across England, 60 million people did the exact same thing they had done in 2022, in 2018, in 1996, in 1990, and in 1998. They put their heads in their hands. They stared at the floor. And they whispered the same three words. Not again. This is the story of the England World Cup curse. What it is, where it started, and whether it will ever end. England has won exactly one World Cup, ever. 1966, Wembley Stadium, London. Home soil. In the final, they beat West Germany 4-2 in extra time. Geoff Hurst scored a hat-trick, still the only man in history to do so in a World Cup final. Bobby Moore lifted the trophy. Queen Elizabeth handed it to him. The country believed in that moment that this was just the beginning, that the country which invented modern football was finally taking its rightful place at the top of the sport. Nobody knew, nobody could possibly have known, that this would not be the beginning, this would be the peak, and for the next 60 years, everything else would be a slow, painful, sometimes humiliating descent back into hope, followed by heartbreak. 20 years passed with almost nothing. Then, in 1986, in Mexico City, the quarterfinal against Argentina, Diego Maradona. 6 minutes into the second half, Maradona jumped for the ball with English goalkeeper Peter Shilton. He punched it into the net with his left hand. The referee gave the goal. England were furious. The rest of the world watched in disbelief. 4 minutes later, Maradona picked up the ball on the halfway line, dribbled past 5 English players, and scored what many consider the greatest goal in the history of football. Argentina won 2-1. Maradona later called the first goal the Hand of God. For England, it was something else entirely. It was the beginning of a specific recurring nightmare. They were good enough to reach the moment. They were never good enough to survive it. 1990, Italy. The semi-final against West Germany. It was and remains one of the most beautiful England performances in modern World Cup history. Paul Gascoigne, Gazza, was 23 years old and playing football on another level entirely. In extra time, Gazza received a yellow card that would have made him miss the final if England had won. He looked up at the sky, his face crumpled, and live on international television in front of 1 billion people. Paul Gascoigne began to cry. It became the most iconic image in English football history. The match went to penalties. England lost. Chris Waddle blazed his over the bar. Stuart Pearce hit the goalkeeper. Germany went on to win the World Cup. England went home, and a pattern that would define the next 36 years was officially set. England penalty shootouts, defeat, tears. Let's talk about the penalties, because this is where the curse turns from bad luck into pure statistical horror. Since 1990, England has been eliminated from major tournaments in a penalty shootout on 7 separate occasions. 7. World Cup 1990. Semi-final. Lost to Germany. Euro 96 semi-final. Lost to Germany again, at home, at Wembley, with Gareth Southgate missing the deciding kick. World Cup 1998 round of 16. Lost to Argentina. Euro 2004. Quarterfinal. Lost to Portugal. World Cup 2006. Quarterfinal. Lost to Portugal again. Euro 2012. Quarterfinal. Lost to Italy. Euro 2021. Final. On home soil at Wembley. Lost to Italy. Bukayo Saka, 20 years old, missed the final kick. Racist abuse followed him online for weeks. England did finally win a shootout at Euro 2024 against Switzerland. But even then they lost the final to Spain. The curse is not a myth. It is a pattern verified by 3 decades of data. Then came the era of hope. Gareth Southgate took over the England national team in 2016. He built a young, talented, disciplined squad. And for the first time in a generation, England looked like they might actually break through. 2018 World Cup Russia, semi-final against Croatia. England led 1-0 at halftime, lost 2-1 in extra time. 2021 Euro final at Wembley against Italy. Extra time, penalties, defeat. 2022 World Cup, Qatar, quarter-final against France. Harry Kane, England's greatest ever goal scorer, missed a penalty that would have leveled the score at 2-2. France won. 2024 Euro final in Berlin against Spain. Lost 1-2. 2026 World Cup Atlanta. Semi-final against Argentina. Led 1-0 until the 83rd minute. Lost 2-1. 5 major tournament knockout eliminations in 7 years. In the semi-final or the final. 5 moments of we were so close. 5 moments of nearly. 5 moments of the curse doing exactly what it always does. So why? Why does England, the country with the richest domestic league, the most passionate fans, some of the best young players in the world, keep losing at the biggest moments? Some blame the mental pressure. The weight of 1966 is enormous. Every England team walks onto the pitch carrying 6 decades of expectations that no other national team faces. Some blame the tactics. Managers have been criticized for going conservative in knockout games, for choosing safety over ambition when the moment demanded courage. Some blame the culture. Football in England is a working-class sport that has always struggled with elite technical development, unlike Spain's academies or Germany's youth system. And some blame something less measurable. The sense that once an English team believes they are 5 minutes from history, something in them tightens, and the ghosts of every previous heartbreak come flooding back in. Whatever the truth is, the result is always the same. So will it end? Will England ever win another World Cup? The honest answer is, probably, yes. Eventually. Nothing in football lasts forever. West Germany went 24 years between titles. Argentina went 36 years between Maradona and Messi. Spain went 70 years before their first, then won everything for 4 years straight. Cycles come, cycles go. England has arguably the most talented young generation in its history. Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, all under 25. Thomas Tuchel, one of the most tactically sophisticated managers alive, is now in charge. The Premier League continues to produce world-class players every single year. The next World Cup in 2030 will be in Spain, Portugal, Morocco. The one after in 2034 in Saudi Arabia. England will be there. They will probably be favorites. And somewhere, in some stadium, on some warm summer night, 60 million English hearts will beat at the same time. And hope, one more time, that this is finally the moment the curse ends. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. But football will keep watching, because when England break the curse, if England ever break the curse, it will be one of the loudest nights in the history of the sport.